Hello and welcome to the pre-occupancy training, the owner and agent orientation. I'm Robin Thompson, and the training today is broken down into two sessions. Session one is topics for all of our owners and agents, and section two, we asked the owners and agents for HUD subsidized properties to remain. But if you're an owner who just has an FHA loan with no subsidy, after part one, you're free to go. Okay, and as I said, I'm Robin Thompson. I'm a senior account executive here in the San Francisco office. The other facilitators today are Amanda Kochek, who's a program analyst here in San Francisco, and Davin Lau, an account executive here in San Francisco. Our funding coordinators are Susan Chen and Asha Littlejohn. So if you have a subsidized property, you'll be working with one of them. And our branch chiefs are Sylvia Cuellar, Erin Ferguson, Ramona Mitchell, Gwen Kelleher, and Jim Raymond. If you have any questions, you're free to send those to your account executive or directly to me, and there's my email address. Okay, discussion topics for today. We're going to go over governing documents, new submission procedures, reserve for replacement, that's a big one, HUD secure systems, financial requirements, physical assessment requirements, project management, management reviews, fair housing requirements, and finally, other regulatory requirements. Okay, so let's start with our governing documents, of which there are three primary ones: the regulatory agreement, the deed of trust, and the deed of trust note. And that's for everyone, whether you're subsidized or not. Excuse me. We're going to start with the regulatory agreement. And that's pretty much how it's going to look for most of you. All right. The first two parts of a regulatory agreement primarily just go over the definitions, the wherefores, all the legalese. So we're going to start with part three is really where the meat and potatoes starts. And the first part three, is financial management. This is where it tells you about timely mortgage payments, reserve for replacement is covered in that part, residual receipts if you're a nonprofit owner. We'll talk about that more. Depositing rents, reasonableness of operating expenses, surplus cash and distributions. We'll also go over that in more detail. What can and cannot be paid for out of project funds, and then your assurance requirements and so forth, financial transparency, okay? And your annual financial reporting. So those three that are bolded there, that we will go over those in more detail. Okay, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm getting over a cold. So more in the regulatory agreement, we're going to go on to part four. This is where we talk about project management, and it's all general. Maintaining physical condition, maintaining your books, your insurance requirements, what management is acceptable to HUD, transparency of your management records. Tenant associations, we'll talk about that at the end. And then part five is about admission and occupancy, leases and subleases, et cetera. And this is really important, especially for our subsidized partners. There we go. Part six, we'll talk about everything that you have to have prior written approval from HUD to do. Obviously, transfer of physical assets. An ownership change, you got to let us know. But also the change of use of the mortgage property, the number and configuration of units, and that includes if you're taking a unit on or offline for an employee unit, remodeling or disposing or demolishing of the mortgage property. And remodel, that doesn't mean, painting or curtains. That's an actual remodel, changing bedroom sizes, that kind of thing. Contracts to manage the property, so that's your management agent. Anytime that changes, we do approve that. And changes in bylaws of the ownership. And then finally, part seven is going to talk about enforcement. And this is a brief summary of what HUD will do if you violate your regulatory agreement. We will come after you. Okay, it's funnier if you're in the room. Okay, deed of trust. let's go over that real quick. The deed of trust is new since 2011. Is it also incorporates the Universal Commercial Code and the security agreement. Those used to be separate documents, so made it a little bit longer, but also a lot easier to use. Basically, no one else can have interest in the property except the lender. And talks about the assignment of the rents and leases. It requires an escrow account for the lender for the MIP, the taxes, and the insurance. And that's all FHA loans, even if it's single family. So, and then, of course, there's some things that reinforce the regulatory agreement in terms of physical inspections, access to the books by HUD, financial reporting, no other authorized liens, that kind of thing. Okay. And what happens in case of a default or condemnation? Well, we have remedies. We prescribe remedies. And there are acceleration remedies. The acceleration remedy just means that we call the note. There's federal remedies, waste remedies. Federal remedies is if you're in violation of federal statute. A waste remedy is if the property is in poor physical condition. And they're all a little different. But they all will have HUD coming after you. And finally, the deed of trust note, which is typically the shortest of them. And the deed of trust note is the basic nuts and bolts of your loan, how much you owe, your interest rate, the amount of your monthly payment, and where you send it. Any prepayment restrictions, and that's typically property specific. So if you are in a situation where you want to prepay or refinance, that's where you would find that. The rules for acceleration, late charges, and more remedies, of course. Okay. I want to talk a few minutes about our new centralized mailbox because this is fairly new to us. Actually, this is like our third generation of the centralized mailbox, and it's real centralized now because we have the entire western United States under our hub with the satellite office in Denver. So the benefits, obviously, are that it's very convenient. You just use an email, send us PDF copies. It saves you postage and time. It's simple. It's one address. You send all your requests to that one email address. You don't need any more to determine who your account executive is here at HUD. We route that automatically for you. And HUD staff logs and routes your request. And it's for us as account executives, it is time stamped. So we have a specific time frame to answer you. Okay. So here's how you use the centralized mailbox. And this is just a picture of an email message that you would send. Okay. So the subject line would just be the project name, the FHA or the contract number, and the type of request. So in this case, it's, Thompson Park Apartments. There's the FHA number, and it's a reserve for replacement request. Okay. What all can you send to the centralized mailbox? Everything. We want it all in a centralized mailbox. It's so much easier for everybody. Here's a few examples. Contract renewals, exigent health and safety certifications, and that's for physical inspections for those of you who are brand new with us. Management certifications, R for Rs, rent increases, and just about anything. Utility allowance adjustments. But as always, requests can be sent via U.S. mail. They're just not tracked as closely. But do not do both. Account executives will continue to handle all technical assistance requests either by phone or by email. So that's separate. If you have you know who your account executive is and you want to email them or give them a call, you could always do that. Okay, here's our new, it's kind of, didn't come out very good, but anyway, that's our new territory. And you're going to submit your request. There's only 2 mailboxes, so it's not that big of a deal, but please send it to the mailbox where the property is located. So if it's California, Alaska, Hawaii, Idaho, Nevada, or Oregon, you go to sf.incoming@hud.gov. And if it's any of Colorado, Arizona, Montana, North or South Dakota, Utah, Washington, or Wyoming, it's den.incoming@hud.gov. Easy. So again, in the subject line, put what it is, your project number, and your FHA contract number. Now, I did say that we'd still take your phone calls. And so the next question is, because we have a lot of new staff and stuff, who is my account executive? So we have set up a SharePoint site that there's a list of all of our account executives. And so you'd put in your property and it'll tell you who your account executive currently is. Okay. Including the direct phone number, by the way. Okay, reserve for replacements. And this is required of all of our FHA insured loans and pracs. So that's everybody in the room or out in TV land. It's required by the regulatory agreement. It's in Chapter 4 of Handbook 4350.1. It's only 24 pages, and I really would like, it would do your heart good to go ahead and read those 24 pages. Take it to bed with you. You'll sleep like a baby, but then you'll kind of know there is some nuances to the regulation. And there's changes effective with Notice 9913. Your deposit amount, your initial deposit amount is established at final endorsement, and it's increased through the life of the loan as requested or required. And what I mean by requested or required, you can ask for it if you have, do a capital needs assessment and feel like it's going to be necessary to bump that up. We can do it in that regard. Also, regular rent increases, you might want to think about it. But if you have a PRAC or a HAP, certainly we'll address that with you. Your account executive will. Okay. And the purpose of it is obviously for long-term planning and upkeep of the assisted property. Okay. For newly constructed properties, you shouldn't require a release of the funds for at least a year, and that's in the handbook there. And even with sub-rehab properties, we typically don't look for draw of the reserve for replacement for a year or more. There is a provision in HUD Handbook 4350.1 Chapter 4 called the optional procedure. This is used by established properties where you don't have to send us invoices and all the extra documentation for reserve for replacement. And, we don't do that at the beginning, but certainly after you've been a good partner with us and we have some rapport, we'd be happy to do that. Okay, and that talks more about that. The submission of bids is not required unless the dollar amount exceeds the thresholds established in 9913, or it's an advance. Any advance of funds, let's say you have to do a roof and you don't have the funds to do it, you want to pull them out in advance, then we would have to have 3 bids, and we'd also have to do releases based on what the contract says. By the way, please notice that says HUD Housing Notice 99-13. That means it's been out there since 1999. So the thresholds are pretty low, obviously. And, $25,000 ain't what it used to be. So at the discretion of you and your account executive, that is kind of a moving target. We can move up that threshold. Okay. You do need prior written approval from HUD for all releases and increase or decrease of monthly deposits. Okay. It doesn't, all of them. Of course, it's good old form HUD 9250 for all of those instances, increase, decrease, suspension, or release, excuse me. And you will do a reserve for replacement spreadsheet and the serial numbers for appliances, that kind of thing. This is all covered in HUD Handbook 4350.1, Chapter 4. And then there's the mortgage or certification. And there is, in 4350.1, Chapter 4, there's samples of all these. They're fillable PDFs. We try to make it as easy as we can. That's what the 9250 looks like. And even if you're doing optional procedures, this is the very minimum, okay? You'll have to do a 9250. Okay, so here's a little closer. And I did want to go over this a little bit more at length because this is one of the primary reasons that these get sent back. In the mortgagee column, you should put the financial institution that is holding your reserve for replacement account. In the case of some of our properties where you got a capital grant, you don't actually have a mortgage, We understand you do not have a mortgagee, but your mortgagee is not HUD. So don't put HUD in there because we're going to send this to the mortgagee to release it. So we need the actual name, address, and email address, if you have it, which would expedite things immeasurably, and put that in that box. And then down the bottom box, you're going to put the name and address of the person that you want this to go back to. Typically, it's the management agent, but it could be the owner. Okay. If you don't do that, this is what happens to your request. I'm kidding. But it is kind of irritating. We don't want to have to send it back. Okay. Eligible items are all capital repairs. So you think of your building systems, roofs, gutters, downspouts. Okay, so you got the roof system, plumbing system, exterior paint. By the way, interior paint is not eligible. We see that's considered maintenance, but you can set up, if you'd like, you can set up a separate reserve for interior paint. But it just can't come out of the main reserve for replacement. And then replacement or overhaul of HVAC or ductwork. Replacement or overhaul of boilers, chillers, water heaters, and we're talking like main boilers for overhauls. And major overhaul of elevator system, your paving systems, and siding, and swimming pools, and security issues. Wanted to touch on that really quickly. If a property is having security issues, I know that the name of the account is reserved for replacement, but we certainly would, consider and encourage an owner to come to us for draws if we're having a security issue at the property and we want to, the owner wants to put in cameras, card lock gates, that kind of thing, even though they don't already exist. So it's not reserved for replacement. Maybe in that case it's kind of a misnomer, but then capital, going on that same vein, capital improvements are eligible if they're, legitimately improvements. Solar energy is a big one. Conversion to dual pane windows, absolutely. We do a lot of those. Overhauls of sprinkler systems. Here in California, we're just coming out of a drought, and we had a lot of our properties come in and do drought-resistant landscaping with reserve for replacements. New software and computers for the office, and anything that's going to enhance the mortgage security. Well, not anything, but a lot of things. And it's always subject to funds availability, so check with your account executive first. It's also available to be used for ADA compliance. So major appliances, sinks, cabinets, bathtubs, floor coverings. Like I said, major interior systems, not paint, not light bulbs, but major things. Also, like I said, compliance changes with the local, state, and federal laws. So, for instance, we've had it where senior properties in a particular location, even though they were older properties, all of a sudden had to put in sprinkler systems. That would be that would be something that we would definitely pay for out of here. And of course, items to meet the needs of residents with disabilities. And it's called Section 504 for our subsidized properties. But as you see this in this illustration, we would actually do a complete build out of a kitchen if it was necessary with reserve money. Now, what is not eligible is interior paint. We already talked about that. Light bulbs, faucets, and door locks. So just think of it small, repair-y kind of items. Those would not be eligible. Now, roof replacement's okay, but roof repairs, minor roof repairs, fixing alligator cracks, caulking, that kind of thing, no. Under no circumstances do we cover windows or screens. Those are wear items. And then minor office equipment, maintenance tools, snow blowers and lawnmowers. I realize those can be pretty spendy, but those are not covered under reserve for replacement. And these should be routine costs. In addition, the snow blowers and lawnmowers, that should be covered in your budgets under your maintenance, either either your maintenance or contracts line items, okay? And a little bit more about your R4R. I told you we'd spend a lot of time on this. The HUD recommended minimum balance is $1,000 per unit. Okay, we will release more than that, but we will ask you to please bring it back up to $1,000 per unit before we'll do another release, okay? And you should not make them more than quarterly unless it's an emergency, and request within 1 year of the invoice date. It's good to glom together the invoices, especially if it's a lot of, small things, quote unquote small things. Like if you're replacing all the refrigerators in the property, you might want to take those quarterly, or you might want to do so many a week and then twice a year send those in. That's fine as long as the invoices are less than a year old. Okay. The investment, the reserve for replacement fund has to be invested, and all accounts must be in the name of the project. Okay, secure systems, access is required to put in your financial statements, to view and look at your schedule for physical inspections, and to do our 2530 clearance, as it's called, or our review in the active partners participation system. We're going to talk about all of these a little bit more. Okay, HUD secure systems. They're just that. They are secure. You apply online, and like I said, I'll be happy to send this PowerPoint out to folks, but there's the link to sign up. Okay, you can register as each property has 2 coordinators and then as many user IDs as the coordinators want to assign. Okay? And for technical assistance, and you might want to, tattoo this number on your arm or something, but whenever you have any technical assistance in need any technical assistance in any of these systems, that's the number you would call. Okay. Please maintain your quarter and user ID information. Edit and remove users as necessary. Like I said, there are 2 coordinator numbers per property, no more, no less. Typically, one will go to will be someone in the owner entity, and the other one will go to someone in the management entity or the auditor for the property, and that's at the discretion of the owner. Coordinators, the 2 coordinators for each project, are the only persons who are allowed to assign user IDs to those particular properties. They're also the only ones that can take the user IDs off the property. And I bring this up because we have a lot of properties that over the years, people quit, people get fired for whatever reason. But the owner never goes in and does a little housekeeping on the list of people who have access to that property. And if it's a subsidized property, they actually have access to your payments. So at some level, if that was what they were doing when they worked for you. So it's really important once you have someone that leaves your organization that you go in, if they had a user ID, to go ahead and divest it from the property. Okay. And of course, that's where you would update your owner address for us so we can find you. Okay, so we're going to talk about previous participation, which you all have just gone through if you just got an FHA mortgage. It can be done online through our app system for the active partners participation system. And the main advantages are you only have to do your previous participation once with HUD. If you use apps, it is kind of cumbersome because you do have to put in all your previous participation, all the apartment complexes that you've worked on and so forth. But you have to do that with the paper one too. And once you put it in there, everything for those properties that you have assigned to yourself in apps will automatically update. For instance, you have ABC Apartments assigned to you, and 5 years later, it's had 3 management reviews. Well, all 3 of those will show up in your app system, so you don't have to continually go in and upgrade it. It'll update automatically. And adding and removing board members and so forth is a lot easier too, for the same reason. If you divest somebody from that property, then it divests them from all those management reviews and on and on and on. Okay, it's a lot cleaner. That's the link to apps. Okay, using the paper 2530 has its advantages. It can be faster. So if you're in the midst of a closing and you just realize that nobody did their app submissions, and that happens from time to time, then that might be the only way you can do it, and then go in and put it into apps later. And for smaller organizations, it really is better. If it's a mom and pop kind of a organization with limited HUD business, it is much faster. Okay, but you all already did this as part of your firm commitment package. Okay, so that's what the paper one looks like. Okay. You just like I said, you just put it in. So from now on, you'll have to do one if there's ever a change in the ownership entity, the management entity, or the controlling board members of a nonprofit. Okay. Now we're going to go into financial statements. This is a financial asset assessment subsystem, FAS. Okay, they are audited financial statements, and all the books and records must be maintained in accordance with the generally accepted accounting principles, or GAAP. But HUD's chart of accounts must be utilized. That way it marries up to your annual budgets as well. Must be submitted in 90 days of your fiscal year end date. So we're going into a very busy season here at HUD because the majority of our properties have a calendar year, fiscal year, and so that means March 31st is the deadline to have in your FAS submissions, which means then we have a whole bunch to look at in April. Okay, you always submit your AFS electronically via secure systems. There's no other way to do it anymore. We do not accept them in paper form. We haven't in quite some time. All our handbooks, guidebooks, and everything are available at that link, so you can give that to your CPA. Okay. The first audit period begins the day after the cost certification cutoff date. Well, what's the cost certification cutoff date? You'll know. You should know that right now. That's the day after the cost certification date is the day after the current owner takes possession of the property. Okay. So the initial audit period is, if the initial audit period is within the last quarter of the fiscal year, the owner can go ahead and decide to glom that quarter onto the following year's audit. Okay, this has to be requested in advance, and you cannot go more than 15 months of reporting. So this is a one-time, one-shot deal. So for instance, if your property's fiscal year is calendar year, it's January 1st to December 31st, and you closed on your property, let's say November 5th. Well, you've only got, from November 5th to December 31st for your first audit period. So we allow you to go ahead and glom those few months, November and December, onto the following year and do it all at once. Okay? Saves a lot of money and time. Okay, this extension has to also be filed electronically through FAS. Okay, so check your user guide to do that. But you probably should do it right when you're getting ready to go to the closing table. Okay. Nonprofit subsidized owners whose property's annual federal subsidy is less than $750,000, you can send in an owner certified financial statements, and that's as ASU. It's 2015-03. Any questions about that? Your CPA would probably be able to help you with that, but you can certainly contact your account executive and we can help you with that as well. A lot of our smaller properties, especially our capital advanced properties, fall into this. Basically, if your gross rent potential is less than $750,000 a year, you can submit owner certified. Okay, surplus cash. What is surplus cash? That's a HUD word. You only hear it at HUD. We have a lot of those. And it's defined by the regulatory agreement as cash remaining after the necessary reasonable expenses have been paid or funds that have been set aside for such payment. It's your profit. same thing. We don't call it profit, we call it surplus cash. You must comply with the guidelines for determining your surplus cash before you can take a distribution. And surplus cash generated in one period is not available for distribution until the next next fiscal period. And I want to talk about that a little bit more. Let's go back actually. So I'm going to go back to the third bullet. Surplus cash generated in one period. A lot of people think, oh my gosh, I got to wait a whole year to take my distribution. No, what that means is if, like I said, as we've been talking about, the calendar year January 1st through December 31st, 2016, you couldn't take the distribution until after January 1st, 2017. That's all that means. And actually you wouldn't anyway, because you wouldn't have the calculation until your CPA has completed your audited financial statement. It just means that through that year, you can't take distributions. And that does happen from time to time, but it is against your regulatory agreement to take any distribution before you've had your that fiscal year has ended. Okay? Nonprofit owner surplus cash is deposited into a residual receipts account because you're a nonprofit. You can't profit, and surplus cash is really profit. Okay. Okay, your financial statement reviews that, again, electronic by the FAST system. Okay. You will get the owner or agent, depending on who has those coordinator IDs. Again, remember, this is why I said, you know, it's always the owner, and sometimes it's the management agent that has it, and sometimes it's the auditor. Here's why. Because when the electronic assessment is done in the FAST system, the two coordinators are alerted. Okay, so the owner and agent will be alerted via email directly from REAC. It's an automated email. There's three options. The first one you always want to have: close with no compliance deficiencies. You'll get a nice email saying, you know, thank you for working with HUD this year. We finished. You have no compliance deficiencies. Have a nice year. And that'll be from our director, Darrell Griffin. The second one is an automatic referral to multifamily housing. That would be here in San Francisco or in Denver, depending on where the property is, that there'll be findings. You have to close them within 30 days. But you would respond directly to your HUD account executive, either here in San Francisco or in Denver. You would not send that to Washington. The third one that you really don't ever want to have is an automatic referral to our Departmental Enforcement Center, the DEC. You will then be contacted by DEC directly, and when the findings are cleared, DEC will refer you back to us. Then we'll close everything out. Obviously, this takes a lot longer, and it's usually a little bit more egregious. But all financial statements are reviewed by your account executive regardless. Okay, even the number ones. Okay, these are required bank accounts for all HUD properties. You have to have your regular operating account. And again, these all have to be in the name of the project. The reserve for replacement, the tenant security deposit account, and the residual receipts account. That's just for our nonprofit owners. If you're a for-profit entity, you only have 3. Okay, monthly accounting reports. Hopefully you'll only have these for about the first 6 months. You have to, all of our new properties are required to do monthly accounting reports, or MARs you might hear, for the first 6 months of operation. There's the reference. It's HUD Handbook 4370.1, Chapter 3. And everyone will do Schedule A. Then Schedule B can be just an e-ledger. So yes, we do want the schedules. They are fillable PDFs, and I'll tell you in a little bit where to get all these forms. But and like I said, you get the PowerPoint. But Schedule A is Form HUD 93-479. Schedule B is 3480, and all that is basic. It's like a checking account, which is why we say you can have Schedule B attached and say see attached on Schedule B, and then just put a copy of your e-ledger with it. That's fine, as long as we get the information that we need, which basically, like I said, it's just like you're in and out, like a check register, then that's all we need. And Schedule C is for skilled nursing facilities, and we don't have anybody right now that fills that bill, so we don't need, no one should use Schedule C that's listening just now. We're going to now talk about physical requirements. Over there on the right is the National Housing Act of 1937, and by the look of it, it looks like it is from 1937, but anyway, that's the actual original resource of our physical inspection requirements, and it's also in the Code of Federal Register, 24 CFR Parts 5 and 200, and basically that's that the old language is to ensure subsidized and insured housing is safe, or is decent, safe, and sanitary, as mandated by the National Housing Act of 1937. And just a little bit of history, just really fast. The National Housing Act of 1937 obviously was during the Great Depression, and people were living, especially they learned in a lot of areas, especially the rural areas at the time, people were literally living in squalor. And so the whole idea was that people should live in where it's decent, safe, and sanitary. Clearly far different from what we have nowadays, like indoor plumbing, things like that. But the language has lasted all these years, so almost 80 years, the 80 years this year. The reports are available through HUD Secure Systems when we come out and do our physical inspection, and you must start to work on the routine maintenance items immediately. So whatever is called out in the physical inspection, you should get on right away. Okay, here's how we score. This is based on 100 points. Everybody gets 100 points when the inspector gets there. And by the way, our inspectors are not typically HUD employees. They are contractors, okay? Physical inspection scoring, 90 plus, you will not be re-inspected for 3 years. So everybody wants to have a score of 90 or above. Then we'll leave you alone for 3 years. If you're between 80 and 89, you'll be re-inspected every 2 years. And for scores of 31 to 79, you will be re-inspected every year. Now, scores that are below 60, then you're going to unfortunately have a compliance disposition and enforcement plan, a CDE plan, we referred to it. This will be issued within 45 days after the REAC inspection report is released. And the reason for the 45-day lag is so that you have an opportunity to submit an appeal. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Scores below 30 will automatically be sent to the Departmental Enforcement Center, and ownership will be flagged in apps. So we don't want that to happen. Okay. EH&S, what does that mean? That's also a HUD word. What is EH&S? EH&S stands for Exigent Health and Safety. What is an EH&S? An inoperable smoke detector. There's no, by the way, they don't deduct from your score, but you get an asterisk next to your score. Exposed wires and open panels, blocked egress or ladders, meaning high-rise, in a high-rise, fire escapes blocked. Water leaks on or near electrical equipment, just really obvious things like that. But the owner must correct EH&S findings within 72 hours. So the contractor will come out, the inspector, and they will literally give you a handwritten ticket, they call it, and it will list all the exigent health and safety items identified. You have 72 hours, and you'll get instruction with that. You'll have 72 hours to send your account executive a copy of your EH&S findings, the certification form, which will also be left with you by the inspector, and either the work orders from your staff that they completed the EH&S items, or the invoice from a contractor that, depending on what had to be done. Okay. Typically, it's going to be inoperable smoke detectors, and it's going to be a work order. Okay, and, that's right, and it has to be on the owner's letterhead. Email's fine. You can email the PDF and email them to us, of course. This is also, you can put this through the centralized mailbox. Okay. Okay, the physical inspection, owners are required to notify your residents of the upcoming inspection. And note that copies of the inspection are available on site in the office. So, so the residents can look at it after the fact. I did want to point out something. I don't think it's in the actual, okay. Yeah, inspections are all related documents must be made available to the residents for 60 days after the results become final. So you'll get, meaning the owner and the agent will get an email from React that it's been posted, and you can download it at that time. It should be made available to the residents and posted. I will say one thing really quickly. Sometimes the contractors are, like I said, they're contracted and they're fee appraisers. So basically what they do is HUD will put out a list of properties that need a physical inspection, and we group them geographically. And obviously, especially in more remote areas, excuse me, the contractors try to get a little bit more bang for their buck, and they try to do, especially if they're traveling to a certain area, some more remote areas, they may try to do 5 or 6 inspections in a 1-week period. So consequently, they will call you and give you a date and try to really pigeonhole you into that date. First of all, they have to give you 30 days notice. Now, if they give you less than 30 days notice and it's mutually agreed upon, meaning that the owner's like, yeah, sure, that's fine, come on out, that's fine. But if he hasn't given you 30 days notice and you're not happy with that date, then you push back and you say, no, that's not a good date. Certainly you're always okay with telling the inspector, no, that date's not good. How about this date? If you get an inspector who's a little bit too aggressive about pigeonholing you into a date, then please contact your account executive. Okay, let's get back to this. And the residents are allowed to make copies of the final inspection. Typically they don't ask, but just in case. Okay, for under 60 scores, don't get an under 60 score. The reason why is because it is a lot more work, and aside from just getting your property back into good condition, okay? So if you go 30 to 59 score, you're going to have a meeting or a conference with your account executive. We're going to have typically it's going to be over the phone, conference call. Then the HUD director will put out a notice of violation of your regulatory agreement and or a notice of default of your housing assistance payments contract or PRAC contract within 45 days. So why within 45 days? Because there's an appeal process, which we're going to touch on in just a minute. And this way, we give you the full 45 days to go ahead and apply for the appeal, okay? This will include the CDE plan that we were talking about. Then once you get the NOV or NOD, what they're called, notice of violation or notice of default, you'll have 60 days to report from that date to certify that the repairs have been made. And you make that certification with your account executive. Okay? More remedies. Once you certify, then a second inspection will be ordered. And if the score is above 60 the second time, then no, you're done. No further action is taken. Hopefully the second inspection will be 90 plus, and then we won't come out for 3 more years. Yay! But if it's below 60 again, that's where you're flagged in apps. A second NOV and NOD is issued, and a new inspection order will take place at the end of the 60-day cure period. So you get another 60 days to cure, but typically this inspection will be done, this one will be done by a HUD representative from Washington. Okay. If the owner doesn't certify, you're flagged in apps, new inspection is ordered, and if you're above 60, the flag is taken off. If your score is below 60 on the second inspection, then you get another flag, which will be a tier 2 flag at that point. And this CDE plan will actually be a lot more stringent, because we're talking now you had 2 below 60s and HUD went out and found you to be below 60 as well. Then we're going to look into more like abating your Section 8 or a technical default of your loan. Okay. Okay, the appeal process for physical inspection. There's two types. There's a technical review. This one you only have 30 days to submit. I have a couple of YouTubes here, and then the other one is called the database adjustment, and this one you get a full 45 days. Again, I have these YouTube links here because HUD, I think they were done in 2012. They're not new. They're about 5 years old. But we actually did little short 12-minute, I think, instruction videos on how to do these. And they're done actually by inspectors. So if you want to do that, we have some guidance out there. Both requests have to, either request or both, you can do both, by the way. They must be made in writing, and the owner must include the objective and identifiable documentation using the form that's on this website, so I have a link for that. But here's the real stickler. You must mail, meaning snail mail, you must mail in your appeals. Either one, technical review or database adjustment, must be sent to this address in DC, and say what it is. It goes to the Technical Assistance Center. Either call it a technical review or a database adjustment. So identify that on the envelope. I'm afraid we haven't brought that into the 21st century yet. Okay, and then they'll review that, and you will hear directly back from them. So what's the difference between a database adjustment and a technical review? Well, a technical review is it's just wrong. Whatever the finding is, it's not right. It's just must be objectively verifiable material error. Okay, that's what the definition is. And that's why I put this photograph here. Let's just say that your property is the yellow property, but they inspected the red property on the right. Well, that's just wrong. And I guarantee you the red property on the right is a below 60. Okay, but the inspection includes a wrong building or a building that's not owned by you. The total units considered in the scoring was incorrect because they do a percentage of the total units, so obviously that can skew your findings if they did too many units or too few. Or the inspection cites a deficiency that does not exist at the time of the inspection. And I kind of caution on this one only because this is really, really hard to quantify and document. That it's kind of almost a he said, she said. You almost have to take a photograph of the inspector standing next to whatever they called out. It happens. Okay, then database adjustment, on the other hand, this is for circumstances that are out of the ordinary, reflect inconsistencies with ownership, or are allowed by the city, county, and state codes. That's what that by definition what it is. So here's some examples. There's inconsistency between the local code and the UPCS inspection protocol. UPCS inspection protocol is what they go out and use. Obviously, it's a federal protocol, but maybe the local code is different. One of those that's a big one in a lot of municipalities is gates on the windows. Items that were captured and scored but are not owned by the property, such as sidewalks, roads, and fences. And this isn't, it's just wrong. This is something that may actually be on the property, but maybe it's an egress and easement issue. We have a lot of those where it's an easement. So the city actually owns part of your parking lot, and the rest of your parking lot is in really good condition, but you have alligator cracking in the part that the city is supposed to maintain. Same thing with fences, that kind of thing. It might actually be on your property, but it's not up to you to take care of it. And then deficiencies caused by circumstances beyond your control. You had a windstorm the night before and the fence blew down. Modernization, so work that's in progress should not be scored. Vacant units are typically they're not inspected, and typically they're taken out of the grid. If you are having major rehab, please contact your account executive ahead of time. There is a place in the PASS system where you can request a deferment for up to a year, okay? Okay, project management. We're almost in the home stretch here. Okay, management certifications and agent approval. HUD does have to approve a change in management. We talked about that before. That's in the regulatory agreement. So how do we do that? Well, we have a form, of course. So anytime you're bringing on your new management agent, when you came in through HUD this time, and anytime you change your management agent in the future, we're going to need a 2530 previous participation certification on the management agent, their management entity profile, and the management certification, either A, B, or C. Well, A, that's owner managed, so that would be from you. B or C would come from the management company. Okay. List of preferred staffing, grievance procedure, and additional information that may be requested by your local HUD office, but this is the main items. This is covered in HUD Handbook 4381.5, Chapter 2, Section 2. 4381.5 is the Management Agent Handbook, and it's not as thick as some of the other ones, so, you should definitely familiarize yourself. The management agreement is a contract between the owner and the management agent, okay? And it should have the provisions of the regulatory agreement, but that the owner may not manage or collect a fee without HUD's approval. That's the main thing. So you have to have a signed management certification before you can take a fee. Okay, and it must have a beginning and end date just like any other contract. Now that is changing a little bit. Our new 9839, which is the management certification, does have a self-renew box. So talk to your account executive about that, because although it does have to have a term, a beginning and end date, the self-renew box will allow us to just go ahead and self-renew. The only thing is you're bound to the management fee on that if we self-renew. So if you want to change your management fee, you would have to come in with a new management certification. All right, your management agreement. You can't. There are prohibited clauses. They can be found in 4381.5, Chapter 2. One of them is you cannot be held harmless. There's no hold harmless clauses allowed. That's what I'm trying to convey there with my illustration. There is required language. For instance, the agreement must include HUD's termination authority. Okay, 30 days written, by the way, in case you want to know what that was. And there is prohibited language. Like I said, a hold harmless clause is prohibited. Not a lot of them, but there are a few. There are bonding requirements for our management agents. You must have a fidelity bond or dishonesty coverage, depending on what state you're in. It's required for all principals of the management entity. And there's the reference for that. It must be equal or greater to 2 months of the gross rent potential for the property that you have. I know a lot of our management agents do multiple properties. Yes, it can be the same fidelity bond just as long as it covers 2 times the gross rent potential for the largest property, obviously, or the one with the largest gross rent potential. And one bond, I said, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. And you must list the lender as additional loss payee. Okay. Premiums are not a project expense. Those are expense of the management company. So those should come out of your management fee. Okay, management and occupancy reviews. There's a difference. So let's talk about a management review. This is in HUD Handbook 4350.1, Chapter 6. And that one has been revamped several times recently. Although 4350.1, the handbook itself is pretty old, it is by chapter being updated, and Chapter 6 is probably the newest one. Okay, so if you have a 221D4, which is a new construction or moderate rehab, we're going to come out within 3 years of operation, because you shouldn't need it before then. On a 223F refi, we're going to come out 12 months, within 12 months of the final endorsement. 202811, which is our Prax, we will come in the first 6 months of operation. And then we'll come out annually on our subsidized properties and as necessary to monitor performance on our straight insured properties. Basically, if everything's going well, we're going to leave you alone. Okay, management review responsibility. HUD performs management reviews on all unsubsidized projects. So it's just MR. And if you don't have subsidy, it would just be your HUD account executive. Typically, we only come out every 5 years. We'll come out within the first 6 months of your insurance, and will be every 5 years, assuming everything's running smoothly. Now, management occupancy review and MOR are done on projects with PRAC contracts, and again, that's HUD staff would do those. The performance-based contract administrator, the PBCA, services project-based Section 8 contracts. So this is your HAP contracts. There's 8 PBCAs in the Western Hub, and HUD staff can perform an MOR on a PBCA project as necessary. So typically it will be the PBCA, but if there's some extenuating circumstances, your account executive at HUD may come out as well. The traditional contract administrators, or the TCAs, service the projects in their portfolio. This is the properties that the local state finance agencies oversee, and so I have those listed there. Timing of the management reviews, we conduct annually for potentially troubled or troubled that are not assigned to the PBCA. And again, we can schedule one anytime, HUD staff. And the contract administrator will conduct annual MORs for all non-PRAC subsidized projects. Okay. The management review covers everything from soup to nuts. It's comprehensive. Okay. There's 7 major categories, and there they are. It's general appearance, a follow-up and monitoring of project inspections. That's those REAC inspections. Standard maintenance and operating, financial management. So that typically happens before we come out. We monitor your financial statements. Leasing and occupancy, the tenant management relations. You know, have we had a lot of your tenants call us? And just your general management practices. That's an on-site review. It's always on-site. Okay, the management review levels. There's also a limited management review. It's also known as a desk review, and this is just conducted intermittently. Typically, it focuses on one of a problem area that there's been a default, there's excessive tenant accounts receivable, or there's a high vacancy. And these obviously would be, default would be, we'd know because the default's on your loan. But also like excessive accounts receivable and high vacancy would probably be called out by your CPA in your financial statements. And so we would go then beyond just doing a financial review, and we would look at management reasons for those issues. Okay. So like I said, they typically will be financial, REAC, or part of our reimbursements. Okay, the ratings there's 5. There used to only be 3. Now there's superior, above average, satisfactory, below average, and unsatisfactory. We are required to do a closeout meeting, and just like the little picture shows, it is informal. I mean, we're not going to sit on the floor, but I wanted to show that it is informal. It's not like an appeal thing. It's held immediately following a comprehensive management review. So right before we leave, we say, okay, we're going to close out now. And you informally go over the findings that you've seen. Okay, there may be more findings than what are identified in the closeout meeting, depending on when we go back to the office and compare things to maybe what's in the systems and stuff. There may be more, but typically we're going to call out all the identified findings then. In addition, if there are findings that you don't agree with, we can talk about those at that time. And we'll explain the procedures of how, when you're going to get your report, what it's going to look like. And only below average or satisfactory ratings can be appealed. So if you get a satisfactory rating and you really wanted a superior, you're just going to have to wait until next time, because we won't come out or we won't appeal it. We won't look at it again unless it is below average or unsatisfactory. Fair housing. This one, we're going to go just really fast over fair housing. Here's our references. It's in the Code of Federal Register. The applicability, the requirements, and the affirmative fair housing marketing plan, they're all in the CFRs. Okay. By definition, it promotes a condition in which individuals of similar income levels in the same housing market area have available to them a like range of choices in housing regardless of an individual's race, color, religion, sex, handicap, marital status, national origin, or sexual orientation. And sexual orientation is actually unique to HUD at the national level. Here in California, that at the state level, that's not unique, but at the national level, HUD is so far that I know of, I think the only federal agency that recognizes that as a protected class. And it ensures positive outreach, okay? So it doesn't mean, fair housing doesn't mean that, you know, I've got X number of women and X number of people that are wheelchair users, and so I need more of this or more of that. It's just, does my overall population and my property reflect the people that are in that neighborhood? And if it doesn't, then there's some tweaking we can do. Okay, and that's through the Affirmative Fair Housing Marketing Plan. Okay, the Affirmative Fair Housing Marketing Plan, or the AFHMP, that is HUD Form 935.2A, and it's available online. I have the link here in the PowerPoint deck. It must be updated only when there's a change in your management agent or if it's requested by HUD. Typically, we don't request it unless there is an issue with fair housing, but we definitely need to change it when there's a new management agent. Okay, and that's what it looks like. Okay, and we're going to real quickly go over some other regulatory requirements. Insurance. Unfortunately, we've had a few fires here in the San Francisco field office portfolio, so it's very timely that we talk about this. They're covered in the HUD Handbook 4350.1, Chapter 21. I do believe Chapter 21 is one of the chapters that has not been reviewed yet, but it's still pretty comprehensive anyway. So, and then anyway, it's in the CFR. The insurance requirements obviously are for all HUD insured and multifamily, HUD held multifamily. We require fire and extended coverage for all of them. Flood insurance if it's necessary. If you're in the 100-year floodplain, FHA requires flood insurance. Boiler explosion insurance if you have a boiler. And fidelity bonds for the management agents. We already talked about that. That's our required insurance. Okay. The transfer of physical assets, or a TPA, is required. Oh, come on now. Yeah. Whenever there's a transfer of the title, any transfer of an interest in the partnership which causes a dissolution of the partnership. So, you know, even if it's only one person, if the partnership is dissolved because of that action, then it's a full TPA. And when there's a transfer, 100% of the beneficial interest in a passive trust. Now, modified transfer of physical assets, or a mod TPA, because of course we have to make everything shorter, is required if there's a single transfer in excess of 50% of the interest, but it doesn't cause a disillusionment of the existing partnership. Substitution of one or more of general partners. A transfer of 50% of corporate stock, or less than 50% of the corporate stock, where the transfer results in a change of control. So really, we're talking about the control of the asset more than anything, okay? You sign and transfer a portion of it, of a passive trust. Like I said, any of those, anytime there's a change of control of the property, that's the main thing. Okay, and finally, what is HUD clips? Well, it's like paper clips, only we make them at HUD. HUD is your resource for all your handbooks and forms, and there's the link to that. Any form, any handbook, any notice, the CFRs are listed in there. That's where you go. You just click right there, and it's going to take you there. So there's all the handbooks you need if you have the first 4 listed are for all of our properties, and then the last one, of course, is for our subsidized properties. So you have a list and everything. And congratulations for not slipping into a coma during this boring meeting. Hi, hello again. Good afternoon. This is Robin Thompson again, and we're now doing part 2 of our owner agent orientation or pre-occupancy conference. This is for subsidized properties only. If you don't have subsidy, you don't have to listen. You're welcome to stay. But we're going to talk about now things specific to our subsidized programs. So if you have a project rental assistance contract, a PRAC, or a housing assistance payments contract, a HAP, then this is for you. Okay, program eligibility. For Section 8 housing assistance pay contracts, or HAPs, family projects are any age, it's only income restricted, okay? If it's a 202/8 or projects designated elderly or disabled. And then, of course, with our PRACs, or project rental assistance contracts, there's 2 separate eligibility programs, the Section 202 and Section 811. Section 202, excuse me just a second, this is, give me the feds, okay. Section 202 projects, you must limit to occupancy of elderly families, and those are folks 62 and older. And for 811s, you limit your occupancy to persons with disabilities from their specific client group, which of course you would know once you close the property what that specific client group is. Okay, occupancy requirements. This is just a photograph of I do still have it. You know, when I work at home, I have a paper copy of the HUD occupancy handbook, which is 4350.3, and I'm just here to illustrate that it is 3 inches thick. So we're not going to go over it all in detail today, but that is your primary source for all things occupancy. And the primary things that you're going to worry about is your tenant selection plan, waiting list, and resident information. Those are what we get the most questions about. But in addition, this also goes over RIP, EIV, and TRACs. What are those? We're going to talk about that. And, of course, rent increase procedures and contract renewals. Okay, your tenant selection plan, this is a requirement, and it's in Chapter 4 of 4350.3. HUD does not approve the plan. This is kind of a misconception by a lot of properties. We don't approve the plan itself, but it must meet the handbook requirements. And here's a few of those, okay? It does have to cover your eligibility requirements. So whatever your property is, it has to say right at the gate. For instance, if yours is an 811 property that's for chronically mentally ill people, it has to say that right at the gate. You must be, earn less than 50% of median income and be diagnosed as chronically mentally ill. Like that, okay? Of course, the income limits, and those are obviously property specific because the income limits are based on fair market rents for that area. Income for that area where the property is located. Procedures for accepting and rejecting applications. This has got to be covered, and how you select from the waiting list. Your occupancy standards. That's where occupancy standards. How many people per bedroom do you allow? Minimums and maximums. Unit transfer policies. Your Section 504 policies, which is for accessibility. Policy for opening and closing your waiting list, and eligibility of students. Okay, the waiting list is also in Chapter 4, 4350.3. If you ever read one chapter of this handbook through and through, Chapter 4 should be the one. You should read it all through and through, but I've never done that, so I really can't make you do that either. But no, you should read this one especially. But the applicant must be eligible at the time they are added to the list. That is paragraph 4-16/ part C, or paragraph C. I wanted to step on that for just a minute because especially with our 202, with our elderly properties, we find this to be a finding, and this is something that we check when we come out for MOR, for management review. This is a pretty regular finding. What we're saying is they have to be eligible, like I said, at the time that they apply. So for instance, if it is for a 202 property, the applicant must be 62 years old at the time that they apply. I know a lot of people will say, yeah, well, it's a 2-year waiting list, so we take people when they're 60. but you can't. By statute, the handbook says you cannot do that. Another one is we've had in the past where we've had sponsoring organizations, usually faith-based organizations, that know that they're having families that they're sponsoring from other countries, and they'll go ahead and put these families on the waiting list. Even though they haven't even gotten to the United States yet. But they know that they're going to have them here, and so they go ahead and put them on the waiting list of properties that are close to them to help these people get a leg up in getting subsidized housing. And while that's a very noble thing to do, you can't, because they're not eligible because they're not already in the United States. Okay? So the waiting list must also include required information, and again, that's in Chapter 4. The changes must be documented and saved. You should never throw away an old waiting list. Electronic waiting lists are okay and actually encouraged, and I think most of our properties have gone to electronic a long time ago, except the smaller ones perhaps. But when we come out to do an MOR, we have to be able to see the notes and the changes. So you have to save them. And regular purging is perfectly allowable as long as you keep the records. And by the way, the purging should be in your tenant selection plan. Your tenant selection plan should say something like, every 6 months we go through the waiting list and we contact everyone there, and if we don't hear from you within 3 months, you're dropped from the waiting list, something on that order. Okay, but it has to be in your tenant selection plan, and then you have to follow it regularly. But as long as it's regular, that's fine. They can get obviously unwieldy, so we don't have a problem with that at all. Residents are to be annually provided with their resident rights and responsibilities brochure, the HUD fact sheet for their appropriate program. There is a different one for HAPs and 811s and 202s. The 9887 and 9887A, that is actually for your own protection as an owner, because that's the consent of the resident for you to check their income and other eligibility on an annual basis. So that those two signatures should never be older than 15 months old. Okay, so just do it at recertification every year. And finally, the lead-based paint pamphlet, Protect Your Family from Lead in the Home, and this is only properties that were built prior to 1978. This must be documented. I think a best practice that I have seen going on MORs is that on recertification, the owner has a sheet of paper in there where it's photocopied check sheet, and they have the tenant just initial next to that they've received resident rights and responsibilities, and then they sign it at the bottom. And that's fine with us. That certifies that resident has received all of those. Obviously, the 987, 987A will be in their tenant file, so we'll see that. Okay, the Rental Housing Integrity Improvement Program, or RIP. This came out in 2003, and the purpose was to ensure that the rental assistance payments on behalf of HUD and assisted tenants are correct, and to ensure the available subsidy dollars go into the families who need it the most. Like I said, this was initiated in 2003. I am the RIP coordinator for one of them, for this particular office, and basically it's just to make sure that all the rules are being followed so that we're not paying too much assistance or too little assistance to families. There is a listserv for RIP. You're welcome to subscribe to it at that address. You only will get emails if there's a change, but it's nice because if there ever is, when a notice comes out or any other a memo from headquarters about a change in occupancy standards at all, they send you the email with the link, so you never miss anything. They don't send you things to sell you anything. It is a HUD listserv. And in addition, whenever you're tired of getting things off the listserv, you can get rid of it at any time, and it'll quit coming. So there you go. RIP and You is the brochure about RIP that you're required to make sure that your tenants have on an annual basis. Okay, the Enterprise Income Verification, or EIV system. This is about work. This is for tenants who are working or receiving a federal aid. You are required to use it in initial occupancy and recertification. This is a really cool system. This was a long time in the making. It was very hard to get everybody on board, but now we're interfacing with the Social Security Administration for SS and SSI benefits, as well as with the National Directory of New Hires for federal and non-federal employees. So everybody who does a W-4, that will come up on the National Directory of New Hires. That's actually through Health and Human Services. And the National Directory of New, well, it's part of Health and Human Services, the National Directory of New Hires. So if someone gets a new job, EIV will pick it up. To run EIV reports is mandatory, and right there is how you sign up for those. There's a link. Okay. Tenant rental assistance system, certification system is TRACS. This is used by all Section 8 and PRAC properties to transmit tenant certifications and vouchers. Basically, if you want to get your portion of your HUD's portion of the subsidy of the rent, that's where you voucher for it. Initial voucher, okay, the vouchers are monthly vouchers that are aggregate, meaning everybody at the property that's under the contract, whether it's Section 8, whether it's HAP or PRAC, you bill them all together in one voucher for those of you who've never done it before. And if it's a new property, in which case this will be a PRAC, there are no new HAPs. So if you have a new PRAC, your first voucher, you will get an error message. Just like the sun coming up, you will get an error message, and it will instruct you to email a copy of your, quote, paper voucher. So basically you PDF a copy of the actual voucher to the address that's provided in the email. This may occur up to 3 months. So up to your first 3 vouchers, this might happen where it'll tell you, oh, you have an error, please send us a hard copy. Okay? So when this happens, excuse me, I'm having trouble. Okay. New projects, because of this, you should submit only one voucher at a time, basically. I highly recommend. Put in your first voucher. Then transmit your tenant certifications first. Then put in your voucher the next day. It just works better. I can't tell you why. But anyway, transmit all your tenant certifications first. That's the information about each individual household, their income, etc. And then the next day, go back in and actually transmit the voucher, the first month's voucher, okay? Once that one, you'll get the error message, you send that in. Once that one's paid, put in the second voucher. Do that for at least 3 vouchers, and you should be fine after that. There's the portal for TRACS, okay? Rent increase procedures. So if and when you need a rent increase, there are 3 different types, and we're going to go over these really quick because most of them are not going to pertain. Okay, a budget-based rent increase. PRACs are going to do budget-based rent increases, and you're eligible for those every 12 months. In addition, Section 8 can do a budget-based rent increase at their initial term, but most of them are no longer on their initial term, so you will do what we call the operating cost adjustment factor, or the OCAF. Okay, this is not available to PRACs. It is available to Section 8 or HAP. Okay, and then there's very rarely the annual cost adjustment factor, and I don't think we have anybody on the call today or that pertains to. So we're going to go ahead and not spend a lot of time with that one. Okay, tenant notification. This is a requirement for all budget-based rent increases. And the notification requirements are in 4350.1 Chapter 7. Actually, everything about a budget-based rent increase is Chapter 7, okay, including the form that you need to use. Okay, there's a 30-day comment period. After the comment period, then you send in your certification of compliance with your package to HUD. Please don't do it before the tenant certification is done, because the tenants have the option for 30 days to contact HUD if they're not happy about the budget-based rent increase or if they have questions. So you have to allow for that time frame. Okay, for PRAC contracts, notice H 2002-17, it talks about the expiring project rental assistance contracts for 202 and 811. Okay, so that's an additional help for you for PRAC contracts. You renew 1 year at a time for a prac. So far, Congress has not allowed us to go longer than that. And you must submit an operating budget if you want a rent increase. Okay. If you're requesting for rent increase, you also must submit the other documentation that's available and as an instruction that's in 4350.1 Chapter 7. So if you go to Chapter 7, it'll tell you everything how to put the package together, and it'll even have fillable PDF forms to fill out. Please do this 120 days before the contract expiration. So if your contract expires December 31st, we look forward to seeing your renewal package in September 1st. Okay. 4 months. Long time. Seems like a long time, but and people don't realize how many things can change. So we really need that time. If it gets done early, great, but we also don't want your contract to expire and you to go without subsidy. Now, Section 8 contract renewals, HAPs, can be renewed for 20 years. And there are 6 options. Option 1 is markup to market. Those are for properties that have below market rents. We can mark them up to local rents with a rent comparability study. That's if you need that, talk to your account executive. We don't want to get too far in the weeds today. Option 2 is the most popular. That's the renewal of rents at or below the comparable rents. Typically, that's going to be that OCAF adjustment we were talking about. You can also do a budget, but you can't exceed the OCAF, so you may as well take the OCAF. Option 3 is for our insured properties that the rents are too high, basically, and what we'll do is we'll send you to our Office of Affordable Housing Preservation, and we'll do a little bit of tweaking, either a soft second mortgage or something on that order so that we can lower the rents and make the property affordable for the owner and the residents. Now, option 4, excuse me, is properties that are exempt from OHAP. This would be our 202s, 515s, which is rural development, and CalHFAs once they turn over. Basically, you're not required to do a rent comparability study every 5 years. Option 5 is a very specific group of our properties that went through the preservation or portfolio re-engineering demonstration programs that were back in the 1990s. Like I said, this is a very specific group of properties, and you would definitely know if yours was one of these. We do still have some of them come back in for refinance with tax credits, so it might be one of yours. So check with your account executive. And if you are in option 5, that's the only choice you have. And finally, there's option 6, and we never want to use option 6, but this is an opt-out. And it does require a 1-year notification of intent to the residents. There's other reporting requirements and so forth. And the owner would have, if you did opt out, you would be required to accept enhanced vouchers from your current residents. Okay, publications and directives. Yes, if you want a paper copy, they are available in paper. You don't have to print them yourselves. The printing office will send you copies. To order forms, handbooks, and notices in paper form, we have an 800 number that's here. Or you can order them online. I have the link here. Please allow 4 to 8 weeks for delivery, but you can order as many copies as you like. So if you'd like to order a HUD form or HUD Handbook 4350.3 for your entire staff, and you want 50 copies, they'll send you 50 copies. So you'll have to order it through there, but it will take typically closer to 8 weeks. Okay, once again, HUD Secure Systems, we already talked about the audited financial statements, the physical inspections, and the apps. But in addition, for our subsidized properties, we have IMAX, which is where you transmit your vouchers and tenant certifications. IMAX is the outside system that interfaces with TRAX. Again, we have EIV. And we have trucks. Required bank accounts are much the same as this morning. Regular operating and revenue fund account. This has to be, again, the name of the property, the reserve for replacement account, the tenant security deposits, and the residual receipts for our nonprofit owners. But for our Section 202 and 811 projects, you must also have a minimum capital investment. Okay, what is a minimum capital investment account and residual receipts? So if you have an MCI, you will have residual receipts. So what's a minimum capital investment or MCI account? Well, this was funds that's put up by the owner during the firm commitment. Excuse me, thank you. The firm commitment for operating deficits during the first 3 years of operation. Sometimes when properties come online, because there's a time lag, usually 2 to 4 years from initial closing to full closing, and maybe the rents are a little low. And so we have this sitting there that if the rents are low and you need some operating capital during the first 3 years, then that's what this little pot of money is used for. You release it, requested through your company, and then we approve it. But if you don't touch it, or if you have some left at the end of 3 years, just let your account executive know, and we will instruct your mortgagee to release those funds to you. Okay. Tenant associations. We're going to talk on this really quickly. The slides have a lot of information on them, but we won't go over that in too much detail today. But then you will have the information if you request the PowerPoint. The tenants in a HUD-assisted property have the right to establish and operate a tenant organization for the purpose of addressing issues related to their living environment. Okay, this is covered in the CFRs. Since 1988, in fact, we've also memorialized it in a housing notice in 2012. That's 2012-21. And it's also touched on in the Management Agent Handbook in Chapter 4. Tenant associations must be autonomous from the management agent, completely autonomous, and that's probably the biggest thing that we can say about this is that they should be able to meet alone, they should be able to have their own written documentation that they share only with tenants, and under no circumstances should the owner or management put themselves in the situation where they are not allowing autonomy. The revision of the tenant participation requirements are in accordance with the 24 CFR. Okay, must be autonomous. So there is an enforcement process if a tenant or a tenant organization has filed a written complaint with the HUD office. Then copies go to the management agent and the owner. Okay. The written complaint must provide the factual evidence supporting the complaint, and that's listed there. And then we go on to explain how HUD would respond to this. It goes ultimately, it can go to our headquarters office. Like I said, we won't go into this too much today, but just so you have the information. Okay? Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, again, feel free to email me or Amanda or give us a call. And thank you very much.